Hey, hi. I'm here because I just wanted to share a few thoughts, ideas, ruminations, things to maybe meditate on that you may or may not find helpful, but that I find very helpful. So I want to share. For those of you who know me and follow me on some level just in life, you know that 2020 has not really been my year. Starting around Christmas time, just had a really kind of unexpected and pretty painful, heartbreaking breakup with my sweetheart, and it's been really hard. There's been tons of grief. I had some changes with work stuff with one of my steady sources of income. Two of them actually kind of were cut in half around the first of the year as well. And in the midst of really the grief over my breakup, it happened over the holidays, which was really hard, and has carried into this year. I still feel quite a bit of grief from it. It's brought up old things too, old wounds, primal stuff around abandonment, around the way that I tend to blame myself for ways in which other people can't show up for me fully, for the ways that I maybe don't blame other people, but I harbor a lot of unforgiveness towards myself. The list goes on, right? So when things happen in our lives, when unexpected things happen, things that are really outside of our control, which is a lot of things, but when unexpected things that are outside of our control happen and surprise us, we can, first off, we have shock to deal with. We're just like in a state of shock, and just trying to like scramble real quick to make sense of what's happening and catch up. And then it brings up all kinds of grief, loss, sadness, pain, anger, bargaining, all the stages of grief that we feel and that we go through. And then when all of our primal stuff starts showing up, our young wounds and stuff, it can be really overwhelming. And I've been doing all the things I know to do. I've been doing my energy work. A friend took me to a breath work class that was amazing. I've done sweat lodges. I've gone to my therapist every week. I've talked with friends. I've done muscle testing. I've talked to all the people and done everything I know to do. I've done journaling, my meditation practice. A lot of the stuff that's coming up is not surprising. I know that it's there. So it's kind of like grief tends to beget grief. So when new things come up, new losses, new changes, unexpected things in life, it can tend to bring up the other grief, the other things, the pain that's been sitting there untended for years a lot of the time. And it can feel like a lot. And on top of that, all of that's going on just in my life personally, as I know many people have had a lot of stuff going on in their lives personally. It might not be grief or hard things that have been going on, but maybe your life was like going pretty good. You were really killing it. And then we get this, worldwide virus, and we are all forced into our homes to be on a personal retreat, really, of sorts. So the things that have been rolling around in my mind, in my heart, are thinking about before any of this started to unfold in my life, at the end of last year and most of this year. Last year, earlier in the year, and mid-year last year, I was thinking about this quote that I had heard. And let me see if I can say it right. I might butcher it, but it's basically an Irishman is not drunk. if he can still hold on to a blade of grass and not fall off the face of the earth. I find that to be a very funny quote, but when I heard it, the thing I was thinking about was how ridiculous to think that if you're falling off the face of the earth, that a blade of grass could hold you to it, right? But so I started imagining myself falling off the face of the earth, really, even before any of these things happened, I was contemplating how much, I will cling. Life is happening to me. I have no control over it, but here I am clinging to this blade of grass, hoping that it'll keep me tethered, to whatever I was doing before. And if you've ever pulled a blade of grass out of the earth, kind of is this kind of slow tug. But of course, eventually, we're going to fall off the face of the earth if we're holding onto that blade of grass. So I kind of had this imagery of me holding onto this blade of grass and falling into outer space, which isn't that scary because outer space is, no gravity. I'm not going to fall and splat or whatever. But I'm holding onto this blade of grass. And now here I am floating in space, clinging to this, to this blade of grass. And that this right here, this is so much of what we are doing in life. Because the next thing I thought of after I contemplated that blade of grass was this saying that I've carried with me for years. I heard it years ago. It is, there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is you're falling. The good news is there's no bottom. And so that's where I am. Here I am suspended basically in this state of outer space where I'm falling, but there's no bottom. So there's no danger. And I'm clinging to this blade of grass like it's going to do something for me. It's going to help me. But it brings me comfort is what it does. It's just this feeling of having something to hold on to, something to cling to. It's pretty useless. Maybe I could eat it, but it's pretty useless, right? This blade of grass. And but it's giving me some sense of control. And so, ironically, all of last year, I was really working with this imagery. And I haven't really shared it with anyone. I thought about writing about it, but it's just been this personal thing of kind of this blade of grass and this, falling, but there's no bottom thing together. And recognizing that there are things that I cling to, ideas about, I got it in my head that I wanted to do this thing. But it's not coming together very easy, or I'm not quite even feeling it. It's a good idea, but I'm not feeling it, but I'm clinging to it like I have to do it. I have to hold myself to the decision that I made. Or on a deeper level, when it comes to other people, wanting them to be different, asking for my needs to be met, asking for what I want and need on a consistent basis, and feeling the frustration of not having that met and not having any control over whether or not another person meets my needs. It's not really for anyone to meet my needs but me, and I just need reciprocity. I need to know there's reciprocity, or whatever it is. We all have our things, our blades of grass. Maybe you are holding onto a whole clump of grass, but either way, we're floating in space holding on to blades of grass, or feeling like we're in danger, we're vulnerable, and we're trying to cover ourselves with this blade of grass and hide under it like it's going to protect us in some way. So I've just been really contemplating that imagery a lot up until all these events started taking place in my life. And then all these events started taking place in my life, as events are taking place in your life. I'm sure that you're feeling them. And I'm thinking about that blade of grass and that falling, but there being no bottom once again. Because the truth is that I don't have control. I think I know the future and I can have my plans, but I never really know what's going to happen next. There's the illusion that I think I know what's going to happen next because things consistently go the same way for a while, but I've lived long enough now, as I'm sure you have too, to know that, life's what happens when we're making our plans. Or whatever that other quote is about that. So here we are. Here we are being reminded that we never really had control and we never really knew the future to begin with. But there's no bottom. There's no bottom. We might be falling, but there is no bottom. Here we are in the present moment, which is always where we have been. We have always been here in the present moment, where really we're not in grave danger in this moment. There's not a lion coming for our throat, literally. You know, we're not in the jungle. We're not sitting ducks. We are not prey. I am sitting here in my bedroom, in my quiet house, and it's really still outside, and it's raining, and I have breath in my lungs, and my heart is beating, and I am contained within this body, in this flesh. I'm gonna get hungry soon, and I'm gonna make some food. The sun is gonna go down, and the moon will rise, and the stars will come out behind the clouds, even if I can't see them. And in this moment, I have everything I need. There's food, there's water, there's shelter, there's breath. There's even connection here on the interwebs. Yes, I'm falling. Yes, you are falling. Yes, we are all falling. But there's no bottom. We are okay. You are okay. I am okay. And it's okay if you're holding on to this blade of grass. But what a beautiful time to truly practice surrender. Okay. How do I want to show up now in this moment? How do I want to be now in this moment? If I were to release control, release all my ideas, let it all go, let it all go. All my ideas about everything I thought I was doing with my life, I thought I was being, I thought I was creating, I thought I was gonna be doing, I thought was gonna happen. Okay. A lot of those things we're finding out are not gonna be. As I've been finding out, and you've probably been finding out before there was ever a worldwide virus, right? So I just wanted to share those thoughts with you. If it resonates, awesome. If there's something you can take away that can bring a little bit of comfort, I'm so glad. If not, that's okay too. You probably stopped watching already. But thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me share. Keep staying with yourself. You're the one you got.